Hi, I'm Barry Dutter, and this is The Takeaway. This week we'll be looking at Wonder Woman, the new movie from DC Comics. Let me start by saying my first takeaway from the movie is Gal Gadot is gorgeous. This woman is so beautiful. You can't take your eyes off her. And when she smiles, she lights up the screen. You feel like she's smiling right at you. What a beautiful woman. Like a lot of people, I was a little concerned when they cast her at first. I was like, well, she's too skinny, she doesn't have the curves, blah, blah, blah. But I tell you what, she nails it. She is so convincing. I would say this is the best casting of a superhero movie since Christopher Reeve played Superman. Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman. She is spectacular in the part. She just brings heart and warmth and humanity and strength to the part. Well done. The movie starts off, of course, on the island of Paradise Island, all right? Look, when I was a kid, it was called Paradise Island, and that's what I'm going to keep calling it today. Some things don't need to change. The movie's divided up into 3 acts, as it were. In Act 1, she is on the island of Paradise Island. Act 2 is when she's kind of the fish out of water. She's learning about, she comes to our world and learns about our culture. And in Act 3 is when she fights Ares, and that to me was the weakest part of the film, and we'll get into that a little bit later. I like the fish out of water stuff. I like stories about when someone comes from another time and another place and finds our world and they see a car for the first time and they see a telephone for the first time. I would like to have seen more of that in the movie because some of the best humor in the movie does come from those scenes. Like when she sees a car for the first time, she just kind of glances at it, but I would like to have seen, you know, what kind of wagon is this person riding? And when she sees a telephone for the first time, she could have been like, what, you speak in one end and someone hears you on the other end? What sorcery is this? I would like to have seen a lot more of those type of scenes because I find that kind of stuff amusing. It amuses me. The film is pro-women, of course. No surprise there. It is pro-feminist, as well it should be. It is pro-Native Americans. That's right. Yeah, that was an interesting twist. The film is pro-African American, I think. The reason I'm not sure about that is there is a character in the movie. He is the actor character who says, I wanted to be in the movies, but they said my skin was too dark. I think that guy's African American, but I'm not sure. Egyptian? Middle Eastern? Indian? Whatever, the movie is pro that guy. Movie is anti-Germans. I think just about every German character in the movie gets killed. So if you're German, you might not like this movie. Just a heads up. The movie is anti-white people because of what they did to the Native American people. The movie is anti-men. At one point, Diana comments that her people concluded that men are not necessary for pleasure, to give women pleasure. Now, guys, do not let your wives or girlfriends see this movie because they do not need to be brainwashed by this film. Once women find out that they don't need us for sex, sexual pleasure, or reproduction, we're done. So just be careful about that. Just a heads up. The movie seems to say that murder is good. Diana murders dozens of guys in this movie. Pretty much everyone she meets with a German accent she kills. It's a fairly bloodless film, so you don't see a lot of blood when she kills these guys, but some of them she sneaks up behind them with her sword and just stabs them. I mean, remember back in the day when we were growing up when they would say, heroes never kill. Heroes do not kill. Well, Man of Steel, Superman killed, and I think Batman probably killed a few guys in Batman v Superman. The trend continues in the DCU with more and more people being killed by the heroes. Different times. The action scenes in the movie are great. They're spectacular. Some of the best action we've ever seen in a superhero movie. When Wonder Woman is jumping and leaping and spinning around in slow motion, twirling her lariat, her golden lasso, and just really spectacular. Great, great action scenes. I'd like to have seen more. Now, the best scene in the movie, of course, No Man's Land. I give that scene 4 stars. When Diana climbs out of the trench and marches toward the Germans and they're firing at her and she's all blocking the bullets and She inspires the troops to come out of the trenches and join her. You know, they told her it couldn't be done. No man's land? Well, I guess it takes a woman sometimes to get, you know, the job. Which brings up an interesting point. Why do people only seem to shoot at Wonder Woman's bracelets? Why don't they ever shoot at her legs or her feet? And that brings up another point. Wonder Woman is strong enough to lift a tank. She seems to be as strong as Superman, at least she usually is in the comics. But a bullet could take her down? That seems weird to me. It seems to me she should be stronger than a speeding bullet. I would like to see a story where someone shoots Wonder Woman and the bullet just bounces off her, and she's like, well, it looks cool when I do the bracelets thing, but I guess it's really just for show. Now, as much as I loved Gal Gadot in this movie, the one scene I didn't like, when Diana throws her hissy fit. Toward the end of the film, she's, you know, she beats the bad guy. She thinks, wah, I beat Ares, I killed him, but I can't, the war's still going on, people are still fighting, I don't want to do this anymore, I quit. I didn't like that scene. I mean, here she is, the first major superhero in a superhero movie in a long time, and first female, I'm sorry. You know, Batman never throws a hissy fit, Superman never throws a hissy fit, but Wonder Woman, wah, I'm taking my toys and going home. I don't know, I didn't like that part. It seemed out of character for her. Steve Trevor is very bossy in this movie. There's many times in this film, for a film with such a strong pro-feminist agenda, many times when Steve Trevor tells you, no, you can't go look at that little baby. No, you can't bring your sword into a department store. Can't do this, can't do that. You can't come with me into the room in the meeting with the guys, the generals. Can't do this. And most of the time she listens to him. So odd that for a film with such a strong, you know, pro-feminist agenda, that she kind of listens to whatever Steve Trevor tells her to do. Steve Trevor, she falls in love with Steve Trevor, and this is a little curious too, because in the course of the film, she finds him to be a liar, she finds him to be a coward who won't stand up to his superiors, and again, he is bossy, but she falls in love with him anyway. Why? Could it be maybe those bushy eyebrows of his? Maybe. Okay, in this movie, Wonder Woman kills, as I had noted earlier, tons of guys. Has the chance to kill a girl in the movie, the evil Dr. Poison, who is the most evil character in the movie. She poisons dozens, if not hundreds of people. She's plotting to kill and poison hundreds more. Wonder Woman has the chance to kill her, lets her live, to go on and poison again. There could be thousands more people who died as a result of Wonder Woman letting this woman go. You know, if we're supposed to have equality, and if everyone is equal, Wonder Woman should not have had a problem killing Dr. Poison, because that's the most evil person in the movie after Ares. So that was a mistake. You'll pay for that, Wonder Woman. You'll come to regret that, I think. So let's wrap it up here. In terms of DC movies, we got Man of Steel down there. A slight uptick for Batman vs. Superman, just because the special effects were pretty cool. Back down again for Suicide Squad, which was, let's face it, meh. And then, whoa, way up again for Wonder Woman. So, basically, it has raised the bar for DC movies. Overall, I give the movie a 6. I give Gal Gadot a 9.5. That brings the grade up for the movie to a 7.75. Nearly an 8. Almost an 8 for this film, which is pretty generous, considering the problems with the Act 3 structure. Overall, Wonder Woman is an entertaining film, and if you like superhero movies, you will like it. That's my takeaway. Oh, I did have one more takeaway from the film. I need to find me an Israeli girl. That's what I need to go do right now. Where do I look? IsraeliGirls.com? I'm Barry Dutter. We'll see you next time on The Takeaway.